Hi, everybody. It's me. I'm going to record two short videos to post on our Brightspace page explaining what the last couple of assignments for Afrofuturism are and where to find the material. So that'll be the first one. And then I'll do a second one saying a few things about Afrofuturism that aren't covered in the material that is already up. This is like take 3. The garbage truck kept going by. I appreciate your patience in waiting on this. I know it's been a little slow rollout. So let me drop myself down and go to our Brightspace page. It's a little cut off, but you can see the important parts. Go here to content. And that takes us to the Afrofuturism section, which I have added quite a bit to. It might look intimidating at first, but I don't think it's going to be. A lot of the links that are up here are to videos that are like 4 and 5 minutes long and are fun and musical and things. So this is the Afrofuturism section. There's also a sub-module because you're going to do some discussion posts. Don't worry about that right now. What I want to explain to you, first of all, is that there are kind of 2 things that you're going to do as final assignments for this unit. They're all, I think, manageable and brief and somewhat informal. There's no final in terms of an exam, and there's not exactly a paper like we did with the short story unit. So the first thing that you're going to do is watch some videos and listen to some podcasts and some clips that provide explanations of and examples of Afrofuturism. I'll show you where all of that is, and then you're going to complete an assignment called Afrofuturism Final Assignment. That is right here, and let me show you really quickly what, I won't read you the whole assignment sheet, but I'll give you the gist. It's a 1.5 to 2 page assignment, double spaced, and you're gonna watch some fun things and listen to some fun music, and you're gonna respond to 2 questions. After you've looked at all of the material, you'll pick the thing that you liked the most and why. You can talk about more than one thing if you want to. You might want to make links to the overall definition or goals of Afrofuturism in your response. And then the second part will be to make a connection between your object of the thing that you pick and something else that we read this semester. That connection can be contrast or similarity. This reminds me of something in Tommy Orange, or this is really different than Baldwin's perspective. So that's the final assignment. It's not exactly a paper, and it is not due until Saturday the 24th. So that's sort of mid-finals week. That'll give me time to read them. And in order to do that assignment, you are going to do some fun things like listen to the first segment of This American Life podcast, which is maybe 9 minutes long. This is a fun Britishy cartoon that explains it and talks about Missy Elliott and Jimi Hendrix. I think this one's about 8 or 9 minutes long. Okay, these 2 clips, I'm gonna, in another video, talk about what these are. This was an experimental film from the 70s by a jazz musician named Sun Ra. And they're a trip and they're great, but they need a little bit of context because otherwise they just look insane. And then these are just some videos. Who doesn't like Parliament? This is just a song and then a couple of videos. So all of these are pretty short. It looks like a lot of things, but it's just to give you a sense of what Afrofuturism is and some examples of what it looks like. All this stuff is pretty lighthearted. In response to like a serious history. But anyway, I think you'll really like it. And there'll be one more video up of me saying a few more things about Afrofuturism. So that's the first thing that you're going to do. You have until pretty much the end of the semester to watch and enjoy these things and then write some responses to those questions. The second thing that I would like you to do, it's a literature class after all, is to read some stories by a writer named N.K. Jemisin. She published a book in 2018 called How Long Till Black Future Month, which is a funny title. It's a collection of short stories. I picked 3 of them that I really like with a short little description of what is fun about them. The Effluent Engine, the Trojan Girl, and the Evaluators. Your job is going to be to pick 2 of those 3, read them, and you're going to post to a discussion forum about them. Let me open this really quickly. So these are the instructions. I'd like you to do your full posts by Saturday the 17th, and then that will give everybody time to do responses. The plan here is that you will pick 2 of the 3 stories. You will post a full post to a discussion forum about your response to those stories, and then you will eventually respond to 2 other students within that conversation. For those of you who did an assignment somewhat like this with Moby Dick, about Moby Dick with me in the fall, this is much, I think it's less demanding because I wish that we could talk about this together in class, and I'm very sad that we're not going to be able to. And so I want these posts to mimic as much as possible a genuine discussion. There's no minimum word count like I've done in the past. I don't want these to feel like mini essays. I just am really interested to know what you like about these stories or don't like or are confused by. So your full posts can respond to things like, this story was fun for these reasons, or I liked this part, but I was confused by other things. This reminds me of something else, why somebody else should read it. So your full posts are just like, here's something that sticks out to me in this story, and also something I enjoyed, something that's vexing. So you'll do full posts for 2 of the stories, and then you'll look at what other people have to say. That's as close as we can get to a class discussion, and respond to 2 people for each story. So in the end, 2 discussion posts of your own for responses engaging in other people's ideas. And there's the due dates. So that's the other thing that you're going to do. The stories are really fun. I'm not a big science fiction person, but I have become a big fan of this particular writer. Let me go back to where these things are. She wrote an essay about why she wanted to do this collection, and it's totally optional, but I just put it up there. I might do a little discussion about her work maybe over the weekend and post it. And then these are the 3 stories that you can choose from. And then I've put up links to the discussion, so you can do those anytime. Okay, so that's the overview of where things are in Brightspace, the nature of the assignments that you're going to do, and when they're due. I think, again, there, heavy. Microstories, I'm going in the wrong direction. Not heavy. Baldwin, heavy. Afrofuturism, not heavy. But great fun. If you've seen Black Panther, you already know everything about Afrofuturism. So, not really. Okay, so that's video number 1, and I hope that that is clear. Please, if this was confusing, or if you're confused or frustrated or anything, just let me know. I'm happy to work with everybody just to get us through. But hopefully this will be some fun stuff to keep you occupied in quarantine. So if you look at the list and it looks like a lot, videos are short, the stories are fun. Let me show you one more thing before I go. When you open a story like this, I know this is silly, but it seems to be one of the worst features of Brightspace. The PDF, look, it is sideways, but if you go down to this little thing right here and click it, this will let you rotate it that way if you want to read it that way. Also, if you download it, you can do that, but that is a feature that I find handy. Okay, I'm wrapping this one up. There will be shortly another video with some additional information about Afrofuturism, and hopefully you will enjoy it. Thanks, everybody.